But if this was only one rabbit hole, I mean, there seem to be quite a few here. Because there's also, and if these really are murders, so this average of 0 murders in Moscow, it might not be true. Because we have yet another death here, Hudson Lindow. Another University of Idaho student's death this year sparks speculation. So also on Mia here by Varnika Srivastava, December 7, 2022. Does anyone care to explain this? University of Idaho student Hudson Lindow was found dead in Paradise Creek. This case has shaken the whole town as the investigation continues. Still, with no suspects and arrests in hand, the growing pressure from the victim's family and speculation from internet sleuths have made this case more complex and fragile. Recently, a Twitter user revealed other chilling details from Idaho that were previously shared on Facebook, but about someone else who wasn't a victim of the aforementioned incident. How did Hudson Lindow die? The user has unveiled an individual named Hudson Lindow who was found dead in Paradise Creek January 5th, 2022. His death was due to accidental drowning, but this user has alarmed some speculating questions about his death. The post has even scrutinized the police of Moscow and its working authorities in Lindow's case. The post read, "I have questions." Moscow law enforcement has been running with this whole "nothing like this has ever happened here" narrative. So does anyone care to explain this? University of Idaho student Hudson Lindow was found dead in Paradise Creek. You read that right. Another student from University of Idaho died earlier this year. Wait, what? This is stating he was found dead May 1st, 2022, not January? Not January 5th, found dead? Okay, I don't know if this is a typo or whatever. Context, April 30th, 2022, the night before, Delta Tau Delta held its 90th annual ball. Xana, Maddie, Jake, and JS were all in attendance. Hudson's body was found the next morning in the creek right outside Greek Row. Hudson's death was ruled an accidental drowning. The post further read, could mean literally nothing, but also here's a picture of Hudson outside of the girl's house, and a map to see where his body was found in relation to the frat sororities. One of Hudson's friends, blurred out in the photo, is Delta Tau Delta's president. The same frat JS was supposedly kicked out of. And riddle me this, where are all the stories on this investigation? Police immediately said there was no foul play upon finding the body. How? What led to him ending up in the creek that night? Everyone was just like he drowned and moved on. The last post read, not trying to create conspiracy theories here, but for a small town, there are sure some crazy coincidences. Make it make sense. And that's the other thing, too. Like, if this is, like, a big party house, I mean, a lot of people would have connections to this house. And if some of these people end up dead, that doesn't necessarily mean there's a link to the people in the house. The information provided above by the user has no confirmation. It's just a theory and speculation shared by the user. We are not sure whether these cases have any kind of tie with the recent Idaho student's murder case. Current status on Idaho murder case. Their housemates, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk, reportedly witnessed the executions, but managed to flee uninjured. They allegedly found the bodies and woke up hours later to call 911. Police in Idaho said that Mortensen and Funk are not suspects, despite the fact that they are still unsure whether the attacker specifically targeted the students or their apartment. Police expressed concerns about the incident once more on December 1st. Even though no suspects have been identified or a murder weapon has been located, the public is urged to come forward with any information. So, is that new? Woke up and called that? I mean, I don't know. The phrasing here is kind of weird. So did they... Bethany is a member of the sorority Phi Beta Phi. So one of them is a sorority member, the other one is not, out of the survivors? Or are they both? Also in this Daily Mail article, A neighbor who lives in an apartment block next door and asked not to be named said the property was notable for comings and goings, often late at night. He said there's always parties at that house and people going in and out, and there's usually some noise from there. But I didn't hear any on Sunday morning. No screaming, no gunshots, nothing. That's kind of weird. Huh. So in any case, though, if this is that popular of a party house where people come and go at all hours of the night, who would be brazen enough to do this? I mean, it's, again, we go back to that, especially possibly with the police hassling people nearby. There's also another inconsistency where supposedly the front door of the house was left wide open, and yet the police state they believe the killer entered through the sliding glass door on the second floor. From Oxygen.com, it states here, Steve Gonsalves revealed at the Wednesday vigil that his daughter and Mogen had fallen asleep in the same bed the night they died, according to the Statesman. Gave an interview to Fox News on Saturday. He revealed further details of the murders. He claimed that he was told that his daughter's injuries were significantly more brutal than Mogen's, even though they were killed in the same bed. He also stated that Kernodle and Chapin were asleep on the second floor of the house when they were killed, and that police are speculating the killer entered the home through a sliding glass door on that floor rather than the front door on the first floor where Funk and Mortensen were asleep. Gonsalves and Mogen were asleep on the third floor. Also, he states here even though they were killed, had fallen asleep in the same bed. So does that mean they weren't planning to go to sleep? Had fallen. Again, unknown here, really. And again, I've mentioned this before. Was that a common occurrence, or were they afraid to be in different rooms for some reason? Some people also are questioning that one or both of the roommates had online activity after 3 a.m., supposedly when they were sleeping the whole time. So again, that is not verified, but just another one of these weird rabbit holes. And it's about to get even weirder. I was able to verify here through KHQ.com, nonstop local news and NBC affiliate here, that Lindow was pulled from Paradise Creek Sunday, May 1st. So the dates were correct in that Twitter post. Moscow police say a body in Paradise Creek was found Sunday, May 1st, 11 a.m. So I'm assuming they verified that this, the party or gala or whatever on Greek Row was the night before. So how many other mysterious deaths or possible suicides were ruled as such instead of murder that may have been murder in Moscow, Idaho? Also, there seems to be some kind of a troubled history here with these sororities and fraternities. Like, how far back does this go? And also, I don't have the numbers here, but what are the average amount of deaths, suicides, bodies being found in the creek at any university with a particular population per capita, so we can compare it to the University of Idaho? Does it really stand out, or does it not? But either way, we have a minimum of 2 deaths here with potential circumstances involving similar groups of people in these Greek fraternities and sororities. So, again, might not mean anything, or maybe it does. How would one know without objective investigation? I mean, there's definitely more questions than answers here, and there seem to be more and more questions piling up almost daily, just regarding more and more connections or theoretical connections, possible connections. What is going on here? This town does not seem to be as sleepy, as innocent, and as first portrayed, anyway. And adding in these skinned coyote pranks, this dog. I mean, people aren't really talking about the dog that was supposedly abducted and skinned not too far away from this house as well. I mean, what is going on here? What kind of activities are some of these potentially frat members or whoever else involved in? And does that have anything to do with this particular quadruple homicide? All the MindShock listeners can chime in with their own thoughts, theories, comments of any kind as we continue to investigate one of the most shocking cases, not just in modern history, but possibly ever.